For those of us that do fish in the winter, we do so because we'll have the river all to ourselves. The fishing can be pretty doggone good, and we're going to stay warm. For others, fly fishing in the winter is a no-go. Frozen feet, frozen fingers. Being cold leads to a miserable day on the river. However, you can fish in the winter, and you can fish all day long and be warm. This video will give you 10 tips plus more on how you can keep your feet, your hands, your toes, and your whole body warm, allowing you to enjoy the whole day on the river with never being cold. This is a great opportunity to learn from an old fish hobo who's fished many a winter, and you can incorporate these tips to your own fly fishing, and then maybe you can start really fishing hard in the winter.
Hey, welcome back to the channel. I'm Mike at Northwest School of Fly Fishing, the old fish hobo, and it's January and it's cold. I've been fishing every week in some river somewhere here in the Northwest, and I'm fishing anywhere from 12 degrees to 28 degrees, and with wind or no wind. And I stay warm, and I'll fish the whole day staying warm. And I've been out a few times with other anglers who have their day cut short, real short, like an hour or two, because their feet are numb, their fingers are numb, they can't stay warm, and they have to call it quits. Well, this is my favorite time of the year to fly fish in the winter for a lot of reasons. There's not a lot of people, and the fishing's been exceptionally good in the winter. It can be, and it has been really good for me. So what I want to share with you today are 10 tips to stay warm in winter. And some of the stuff you may know already, or some of the stuff you don't know, but hopefully this will help you. Number one and most important for you is to have some heated socks. And we're talking battery operated socks. And this will keep your feet warm all day. And the neat thing about today's technology is you're able to adjust how hot you want your feet to be. They are Bluetooth, and you can control it with your cell phone. But if you have heated socks, you're not going to get your feet cold done correctly. I use a really thin liner and then I pull my heated socks over, set the heat, and then I'm off onto the water. And I don't even worry about my feet getting cold. The worst is I can feel the coldness in my feet, but my feet aren't that cold at the worst case scenario. And certainly I haven't had numb feet in years. And the problem with cold feet is if your feet get cold, your whole body will get cold. And when your feet get cold, you can't warm them up. So it's really, really important that you have these heated socks before you even get in the water. Number two is heated muffs. And heated muffs are not a glove, but the football players wear them when it's really cold. They put their hands in them. And I don't wear gloves in the wintertime. I do carry gloves, but on the rare occasions I'll use them. But what heated muffs do, it's the same technology, is they're battery heated. And all these heated or heated garments that we wear, they're all very easy to charge. They're an USB port on your computer or adapter. And what I like about it, when my hands get cold, I can just put my rod into my arm, put my hands in here, and within a minute they're warm again. And you can adjust, again, medium, low, or high. And typically, I have it on high. So put my hands in there and then boom, take them back out, and I'm good to go for another 10 minutes. So if you keep your feet and your hands warm, odds are everything else will stay warm too. Number 3 is a wool shirt. And I'm not talking about some cheap wool. You spend some money and get yourself a good wool shirt, and layered underneath that is a long sleeve T-shirt, and that'll help keep that warmth in you. Because over that, and number 4 is I also have a heated vest. Again, today's technology, these are all USB port batteries that charge. And on my heated vest, I have a high, medium, or low. I can heat the front, the back, and certainly around the collar. And I can adjust that heat. So if I do feel my torso getting cold, I'll just press the button and it'll get warm quick. Number 5 is you want to wear a wool cap or a fur cap. Much of your heat is lost through your head. Most of us will wear a wool cap. And I have a fur cap that I put on really cold days. You want to keep that heat inside your body and not out your head. Number 6, I like to carry a dish towel. You dry your dishes with it. And real easy, I just keep it right here because when I do catch my fish, my hands are getting cold. The water's freezing. And when I release the fish, take the picture, I have wet hands. And the worst thing I can do is take wet hands and put them in my muffs because then everything in there gets wet. So I just have this dish towel that I dry my hands off with. Very simple. Put them in there and we're good to go. And number 7 is kind of a no-brainer, but you don't want to go to the river with a hole in your waders. So before winter starts, you want to check to make sure that your waders have no holes in them, and if they do, use some Aqua Seal. You can buy it at any box store or fly shop. Aqua Seal is what we use to repair our waders. And a good technique that I like to use is very thorough, is I'll stick a water hose down one of the pants. And I can see where the water's coming out. And it takes 2 people, and then I'll mark those holes. I'll do the same thing with the other, and mark those holes, and I'll make sure that my waders have no holes going into winter. You want to use a really good net cover. You see these guys out on YouTube and other places where they use these really thin flats type covers their face, and that's not what we're talking about. I'm talking about something really, really thick that goes in that way. And if you stop that from happening, it'll keep your torso warm. Number 9 is I do have gloves, and I would recommend that you wear them too if you don't want to use the muffs. But you got to be real careful because you hang your flies on your gloves all day long. And you'll spend more time taking your flies out of your gloves than anything else. But I do have them, and they're fingerless, so that I don't try not to get them hung on there. And I actually have the kind that pull over into muffs too. And that's for really warming up my hands real fast. And last but not least, number 10, a good tip for you is a little buddy heater. And I like the little buddy heater because I can take it down to the river with me. I can do it at my truck, and when my hands get cold or I'm cold, all I got to do is press the button, turn it on high, and the little buddy's going to give me heat in a horizontal direction and heat in a vertical direction. So I just sit in my chair, I just put my hands over it. They're very light, they're easy, they're not that expensive, and you can take them anywhere and buy them anywhere. So that's a really good tip for you. I don't go winter fishing without that little buddy heater. Save my bacon more than once. And then a few things on a side note is that aren't in the top 10 tips, but I would say are good tips for you too, is bring some firewood. Always have some firewood with you because you can always start a fire. It's another way to get warm. I've had fires going while I'm out in the river fishing. Come back in, heat my hands up, and ready to go. Always have some hot beverages. I have a big 2-quart or 3-quart Stanley that's beat up and been used by this old fish hobo forever. I always keep hot coffee in there, and it's just hot right out of that thermos, and it just warms my inside out. And then last but not least, as a side tip, is you should have a good bug out bag. And what I mean by bug out bag, it's a complete change of clothes. Jacket, socks, underwear, pants, everything. Spare mitts, spare everything in there. I have a towel in there because I've seen this happen more than once where guys go whoop in the river they go and their day is over. Rather than going home, I can go back to my truck, put all clean clothes on, fire up the little buddy, and then I'm ready to go fishing. And if you stick with these things, you can start your own list of things, incorporate a few of the things that I use into your list, but be as it may, it doesn't do you any good to go winter fly fishing if you don't have the ability to stay warm or get warm. With that being said, I hope to see us somewhere on a river this winter.